The greatest mysteries are revealed in Shimini Atzeret, the eighth day after 7 days of Sukkot, which is a cube. These 7 days of Sukkot are reflected in the tefillin, the shell rosh of tefillin, with the 3-pronged shin on the right and the 4-pronged shin on the left, and those are 7 prongs. And those 7 prongs represent the 7 days of Sukkot. And then removed from that is the dalet in the back. What does dalet have to do with Shimini Atzeret? It's because it's a double dalet. It's 2 times 4. And that 2 times 4 makes 8. And that's 8th day of closing of the strap. And that knot on the strap is a double dalet. Is in a certain sense, it's the malbush that's doubled over, and it's a double malbush. And in a certain sense, all it is well, let's go on. Because Shimini Atzeret is the yesod also. It's considered yesod. It's the mating of Yisrael and Rachel. And as you know, the gematria of Yisrael is 541, and the gematria of Rachel is 238. And so the 2 of them together is 779, and that's the gematria of this year, 5,779. And so it's propitious, this yesod, this specific mating in Shimini Atzeret is specifically blessing this year, 779. And that comes from yesod. Yesod, for some reason, is considered also 8. Why? Because yesod itself is yud, 10, samach, 60, and 70, 5, dalet, another 10, it's 80. So the 8th Shimini Atzeret is also the 80. And this 80 is 10 times 8. Each of the units in the 8 has 10 units within it. What is 8 except for bris? The ultimate 8 is the bris. So the bris relates to Shimini Atzeret of the 8th. Bris is in Yesod. 8th is in Yesod. 80 is in Yesod as its gematria. And now, how do we write the word Tiferet? We write it Tav, and then those, quotation marks, and then another Tav. And that's 800. So there's a relationship between Shimini Atzeret and Yesod, as 80, and then 800 is Tiferet. That's the way we know Tiferet. We know Tiferet is Tov Tov. And so, this 800, so we make Tiferet into the final pay. We make Yesod as 80 into the pay. And this relationship of the pay is the relationship of the what they call head between the knees. And when you write the pay or the final pay, you see that the head is bent between the knees. And the two legs there on the right and left of this is Netzach and Hod, which are the two legs of the sukkah. And the tefach is the small one hand, and that's the yesod. So in a certain sense, the sukkah itself is Netzach, Hod, and yesod. Because you only need two sides of a sukkah, and then a tefach, which is a hand span. It's like a small third leg, and that's yesod. So this entire day here, now here's another doubled over dalet on the tzitzis. On the tzitzis, which has to go really low down into the yesod area, it's 4 strands doubled over. So the 8 strands of the tzitzis relate to the double dalet, because a dalet is 4, and then they double it over. And so the tzitzis is 4 strands and doubled over. And that's how we get 8 strands in the tzitzis. And the 4 corners of the tzitzis times 8 strands is 32, which is the 32 paths of wisdom. So this 8 on the tzitzis also relates to Shimini Atzeret. And on that there's a string of blue, therefore there are 7 and 1. And this 7 and 1 make it exactly like Sukkot and Shimini Atzeret. This string of blue on the 7. So with the 7, which is the same as the head tefillin and the knot on the back. The knot on the back is the 8th. The string of blue is the 8th. So this is a very deep issue here. How the tefillin strings, how the tzitzis strings, which is also 600 tzitzis, which is like a final mem, and which is like the cube, like a final mem of the tefillin block, and how the tzitzis is doubled over. The talit, we're talking now, especially for me now, about the talit katan. It's doubled over. And that doubled over talit is the malbush. the original garment, which is doubled over, front and back. But I woke up this morning in the middle of the night. I had a vision of the Malbush unfolding. This Malbush unfolding to its original shape is the taking this Malbush and unfolding it flat. So in this way, the earth is flat. Ah, such beauty in this 8. Because 7 is spiritual, but 8 is infinite. 8 is the Ein Sof level, which can only be reached through Yesod. The Ein Sof level can only be reached through Yesod. Just like there is no mating, no union on the night of Shimini Atzeret until the Musaf service of Shimini Atzeret, when we pray again for Geshem, for rain. Rain, the obvious sexual symbol. And this Yesod area is evident on Shimini Atzeret as the bris, as the number 8, and all number 8s within Judaism are reflected through Shimini Atzeret. In the word Ach, Isru Hag, Ak, brother Ak, is 9, and that's the day after. That's Isru Hag, and 9 is the reoccurring number. It's the reoccurring decimal. The law of eternal return due to the infinite 8. So 8 is the real deep opening here. And from the bottom, 8 can be found through Bina. And Bina, with its 50 gates, 49 gates, and then that gate up to Keta, and that can be considered the string of blue, the one gate. Such beauty here unfolding. Number 8. And as you know, if we take the regular English way to write the 8 and put it on its side, 90 degrees, because the ultimate angle for anything, its optimum manifestation, is found at 90 degrees. We put it on its side, and it looks like an infinity sign, and that's what it is. And in that infinity sign, we have 2 circles that come together at the knot. And that knot of the 2 circles is kind of what we have at the back of the tefillin. And so all this is the talit katan, as the malbush, and the tzitzis as the doubled over 4, and the knot of the tefillin is a doubled over 4, and Shimini Atzeret is the union at Yesod, and Yesod is the concept of the infinite, and it's considered 80, and Tiferet as 80, 800, and the letter Pei. And there are actually 3 ways to write the letter Pei, like the 3 performing functions at the bris: Pei Aleph, Pei Hey, Pei Yud. 50. $256 is the total. Let's see. 256 is the total of the 3-way to write Pei. And what is 256? I think that's 2 to the 8. Which would be an amazing number. Let's see, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256. It's 2 to the 8, which is the amazing 8th power of infinity. And that's what we have here on Shimini Atzeret.